Motorcycles in BF5, it could very much happen through another data mine leaked by Temporo, who you can follow here on Twitter. Some new information has been data mined recently, giving us possible clues that we'll eventually be seeing motorcycles come in BF5. Of course, like everything that is data mined, it's not something that is in the base game yet, so we do have to take everything with a little bit of grain of salt, as we don't know if or when something like this will make it into Battlefield 5. The first of the possible leaks is the BMW R12, which is the earlier version of the more popular model BMW R75 series. BMW delivered 36,000 R12s to the German army by May of 1941, making the R12s BMW's most produced motorcycle up to that point. It was used primarily for communications delivery and reconnaissance duty. It could hold up to 3 passengers with 2 passenger seats on the bike and 1 extra in the sidecar. It was seen as a pretty reliable and speedy battlefield instrument, but heavy mud and snow caused issues for its critical components, causing the German army to search for a more dedicated replacement. The second motorcycle we see in the files is the Well bike. The bike was developed in Welland, Britain, and partially derives its name from taking the well from Welland and put it in front of bike, making it the Well bike. It was used by the Special Operation Executive, the SOE, and was designed to be parachuted next to the SOE, where it could be assembled and ready to ride within 11 seconds. It had a max range of 90 miles at a speed of about 30 miles per hour. However, its earlier models ran into issues not having a sufficient amount of power to carry a fully equipped soldier. Also, its low power and small wheels meant that it struggled to cope adequately with rough battlefield roads. It was later replaced once larger gliders had been developed to carry bigger and more powerful motorcycles. Now, like I had mentioned earlier, these bikes were primarily for transportation or reconnaissance use. These weren't mainly used for infighting battlefield purposes, and considering how underpowered the Well bike was, it was really meant to get you between point A and point B. So if these made it into Battlefield 5, they would most likely fall under a transportation vehicle, in my opinion. One of the vehicles near your headquarters spawn that are used to just get you as quick as you can back into the battlefield. However, excluding the Well bike, which was again really designed for transportation purposes, the BMW R12 did have the function where you could mount an MG34 or 42 onto the passenger car and could be used for light infantry support. And that had me think, if there's one thing that could closely resemble the Calvary class from BF1, it'd be something like a motorcycle, which would rely more on its speed and quickness to move in and out of the battlefield, since there's no armor on the vehicle protecting the driver, which was somewhat a similar experience when riding a horse in BF1. I know a lot of people were looking for the possibility of the Calvary class returning in BF5, and even though there were horses used in World War II, like the saying goes in World War I, they came in riding horses and left driving tanks, so it definitely wasn't a popular thing in World War II to be using horses. So I think the next best thing that could closely resemble the Calvary class from BF1 would be a motorcycle. It's still a stretch of the imagination, and it's all speculation on my part at this point. I mean, you clearly wouldn't want to be driving a motorcycle going in guns blazing on a map like Panzerstorm, which is rich with tank versus tank warfare, but maybe something more on an infantry only map. The person in the sidecar could have the MG34 mounted, and possibly another player on the back of the driver could be wielding any of the 4 infantry classes loadout weapons. And who knows, maybe even the driver could toss a grenade or two. It is a stretch of the imagination, but not out of the realm of possibility. And since we've seen a lot of familiar elements from BF1 make it to BF5, it makes you wonder if we'll ever see a sufficient replacement for the Calvary class we got to experience in Battlefield 1. But what do you guys think about motorcycles in BF5? Do you think they'd work as a good replacement for the Calvary class from BF1? Feel free to let me know you guys' thoughts down in the comments below, but that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin'. I'll catch you guys again later.